Hello friends, welcome to the channel. In case you're new, my name is Neil, and it's Friday. At least that's when I'm releasing this. That's because every single Friday on this channel, we look at jersey concepts, which are designs from you, designs from the community that are sent in, usually full sets from the NHL, and we dissect, I react. I look at these for the first time with you, and I react and give my opinions. And of course, at the end of the video, you give your opinions down below in the comment section. It's a pretty good give and take, and it's my favorite thing on the channel to do. So if you're new, we'd love to see you on board and have you part of this routine that we have on the channel. So today's designs are uniforms, and there's 36. The designer is Ethan, so shout out to Ethan. And typically when designers submit to the channel, they make the file names a team abbreviation. But just a note here that the file names are by city name, not by abbreviation. So the order that you're used to may be a little bit different because I have the files sorted by alphabetical order. So the first team is still going to be Anaheim, if you're familiar with the process here on the channel. So let's dive in and let's see what Ethan has for us. All right, so Ethan has an interesting template here. It looks like the shoulder patch is coming right off of the jersey, and as well the numbers. That's okay, it's not too bad. And he's got a note here that says black pants as opposed to the current orange. Okay, so this is, obviously pretty in line with what they use now for the home jersey. It's got shades of what they've used in the past, so this is not off-brand or anything shocking here. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with even the black pants as he's outlined here. I think they've got a really good uniform currently, but this is good. So, good start, logical start. Next, Arizona Coyotes. Logo is updated to wear original white Kachina. Well, I actually don't mind the logo change there at all, and the jersey itself is definitely fine, but unfortunately the Arizona Coyotes don't exist anymore, so this hurts the heart a little bit. What I find interesting is the specific shade of burgundy change for the primary color. You see it's darker here in the neck and the stripes as well, but in the interior, it's a little bit lighter. I don't mind that. I think it gets a little bit busy in the sleeves though. Let's move on to the Atlanta Thrashers. So there's definitely some defunct teams in here. So Atlanta Thrashers are probably the most iconically designed team that doesn't exist anymore in the NHL. They had such polarizing designs in terms of uniforms and jerseys. And I'm so lucky that I was actually able to see the Atlanta Thrashers play back in 2002, I think, in Montreal. Danny Heatley was on the team, if you remember that. Classic. And I think Kovalchuk was on the team as well. Kovalchuk was definitely on that. I'm not sure about Danny Heatley, actually. I have to go back and look at the roster, but this is a jersey that I wish that I got back in the day. I've never had an Atlanta Thrashers jersey. Would love to see them come back, or if the Jets do, maybe something a little bit funky. I'm not sure if they own the rights. But yeah, Ethan, you're right on the money here for this one. All right, let's continue. Boston Bruins. So this is pretty in line with what they used, what was it, last year? And they're a bit of an anniversary year. A lot of striping. Anniversary style stripes with regular gold. It looks good. I like the Boston Bruins jersey with shoulders that are a little bit empty like that. Excuse me. So yeah, totally fine with this, Ethan. Good job. The Buffalo Sabres, font inspired by goat head jersey. Okay, I'm cool with that actually. I like the neck. What's going on here? The white, or the yellow on just like the collar trim, and then the yellow in the back. It's pretty good. Not a fan of the logo though. I think that it's a great shoulder patch. I think maybe their regular logo, their less stylized one, is probably better, or the goat head itself. But it's it's fine. It's right in line with very similar to what they use now. Calgary Flames. Okay, so here's a pretty big change. He says stripes inspired by a pedestal jersey, and we definitely see that kind of design language on the arms. Now I have a bit of confliction with the black in the as a stroke for the actual logo. It doesn't look bad, but I feel like it needs some top-bottom balance or something. Like you've got white and the yellow up here, but no black, other than in the NHL logo that doesn't count. At the bottom of the jersey too, so I'm not sure. I'm a bit torn on that black stroke, but it's okay. Carolina Hurricanes. Wow, a stripe swoops across jersey mirroring the logo. This would be a great stadium series. Totally okay for the stadium series. As a primary jersey, I think it would be okay as well, or as not a primary jersey, or a home jersey. Yeah, I think that would be okay as well. I just think that this is maybe more stadium series than actual home jersey. Moving on to the Chicago Blackhawks. Perfect as is, Ethan says, so there's really nothing to explain here. He's not wrong. Next, the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's pretty cool. Chevron military style striping. So striping. Okay. Yeah, so the bottom of the arm, I do like that change. I think that the Columbus Blue Jackets jersey needs to change in general a little bit more egregiously than this. This is not enough in my opinion. I think that the striping, just like that pinstripe, just needs to go. They need to do something else, I think, in my opinion. Next, Colorado Avalanche logo inspired by 2020 Stadium Series. Not bad, not a bad jersey at all. I think their current logo is one of the best in the NHL, so I would probably be against that change, but I do really like what's happening with the shoulders. I think that's very interesting, and the arms are good too. Moving on to Dallas Stars, nice addition on the arms, that little logo on there. Sleeve stripe incorporates a silver star, is what he said. The font is good. Yeah, I really like that logo on the arm. I think that's a really smart decision. Next to Detroit Red Wings, new number fonts. Okay, I'm not super familiar with the current Detroit Red Wings typeface or font. Yeah, this is an insignificant change for me personally. Okay, next, the Edmonton Oilers logo is a large O or 0 for Oilers with the oil drop. I don't like this one. It reminds me of the Heritage Classic jersey, and I was not a fan of that. It feels very empty in the middle, so not a fan. It's too almost one-dimensional. Next, Florida Panthers, he says chest stripe arcs to mirror the top of the logo. Okay, that's an interesting idea. I don't mind it. I just don't think that this specific template that you're using, Ethan, is really a good representation of what it would look like. I think we almost need to see like a flat lay, one where the arms are down or something, or maybe a little bit more of a realistic template. The angle of the arms themselves, if that angle is the same on the arm, we can't really tell because the arm is up, so it's a bit of an awkward template for this design. I see what you're going with. It's not a bad idea. It's just I can't really get the good vibes of it or the proper vibes of it. Everything seems really high as well. Next, Hartford Whalers. Yeah, sign me up for this. Whether it's Carolina, whether the team comes back, I don't really care. Obviously, Hartford Whalers is an amazing brand. And Ethan says number font inspired by Whaler logo. Yeah, sure. Great jersey. Next, the LA Kings current look in purple and gold. Would love this. Would absolutely love this. If you know me, that you know that this was an easy decision for me, or easy thing for me to like. Next, the Minnesota Wild red stripe continues onto the chest stripe. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I think what they have now might be a little bit better, but I don't hate this idea. Let's continue to the Montreal Canadiens chest stripe inspired by barber pole jerseys. Maybe a little bit too busy for me. I think the barber pole jersey is like it's a special one. It's something that should exist as a standalone jersey, whether it's a little bit of striping like this or the entire jersey, like that original jersey. I don't think I would want to see something as busy as this on such a traditional team as the Montreal Canadiens as a primary home jersey. I think that's a specialty kind of little design thing that we want to see on an alternate jersey or a league-wide series jersey or something, but not a permanent home. Next to Nashville Predators, absolutely. He says logo includes triangle backing like logo from mustard jersey. Okay, sure, that's fine with the triangle on there. I'm actually didn't even notice that, to be completely honest. I noticed the shoulders and the arms so much better than what they currently use now. It looks like Reverse Retro 1. This is awesome. Next, the Devils original style sleeve stripes return. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think that's pretty good. No complaints here. Next, the Islanders stripes resemble waves. Yeah, we got that on there. We've got a different logo. Colors. That specific shade of blue looks a little bit darker. Maybe it's just my brain. I think that's the deeper shade of blue that they use in Reverse Retro 1, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll have to double check that later, but it looks a little bit dark. I'm okay with that. It's no problem. But not a fan of that logo. I just want their original one on there. I'm okay with the striping though. That little wave thing looks good. Rangers. Number font matches name on front. Yeah, doesn't it already kind of? Doesn't it have the same stylization, or is it a different typeface? I've actually never really thought of that or thought about it. I don't think that's an issue though. Next, Ottawa Senators modern style logo returns. Whether they use the one they have now or a more retro version or a more modern version doesn't really matter to me. I'm okay with that. This looks good. Flyers, orange highlights added in the black. It's actually a nice little addition. I'm okay with that one for sure. Yeah, I like that. The Pittsburgh Penguins, white stripes line up when the arms are down. Yeah, but the template doesn't show us that, which is a bit unfortunate. That's the trouble of some of the templates. We don't really get the most realistic representation of what it would look like. That's why I love the sports templates one. It is by far the most realistic template that you can get. If you don't know what it is, if you don't have it, I can help you save a little bit of money if you want to go check it out. Head on over to sportstemplates.net. Use my code post to post. That'll save you 10% on the template. And if you get it, you're going to have the highest quality template you can get in the market. Additionally, there are other hockey templates on that site, not just the jersey one. You can do a flat lay jersey, you can do an entire uniform, you can do sweaters, arenas, goalie helmets, and all kinds of other hockey things, other sports as well. Over 70, I think it's actually over 80 templates available now over at sportstemplates.net. And my code works for every single template on the site. And there's free ones. I like to mention that as well. Like if you've got Photoshop already, man, go get a free one. Like, what are you guys doing? Go get a free one. It's free. Go check it out. All right, let's move on to the next team. It's the Quebec Nordiques. That is actually a pretty cool jersey. Sleeves inspired by Leaked Rebrand. Now, the Leaked Rebrand had a completely different color combination, logo, and everything. I don't remember the sleeves, though. I'd have to go back and look. But it was a bit of more of a teal. There was white. There was like a wolf on the front. I actually really like the arms on this. I kind of want to see this in a better template, but I really like the direction, Ethan, that you have here. I think I'd like to see this redesigned in a different template, whether it's the sports templates one, whether it's something else. This one's I feel a bit awkward. Like there's things coming off of it, like the fleur de lis is off the arm, the numbers are off the arm. It's hard to get a really good visual representation of this. Okay, next the Sharks, pop of orange up top. Like I think what he has here is better than what they currently use, but I still like the previous home generation of the jersey, so I'll say that. Okay, next is Seattle Kraken. Whoa, what is that color? Sleeve stripes continue across the front, so logo outline shows. I think what they have now is a little bit better, but that specific teal or whatever is really not correct. You don't call it out here in your description, so I was wondering if this is like not a mistake, but I just don't know where that color comes from. It looks incorrect, but it doesn't look bad. It just looks incorrect. Maybe it's just my screen. Okay, next is St. Louis Blues. Well, St. Louis just released a new home and away this week, so I made a video on that. If you want to go see it, go check it out. But Ethan has done some interesting things here. Musical staff behind the numbers. A little subtly, that's okay. The note has changed. It's not bad. Yeah, not bad here. Next, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lightning strike into dark storm cloud. So we've got a staged gradient, not only in the arms from about the bicep down to the wrist, but also in the middle of the jersey going horizontally left to right, starting in the middle. And also in the socks. Sorry, I didn't see the socks. This is, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but again, I'd like to see this maybe in a different template. I like where you're going. I think this is better than what they currently use. And I kind of like the idea, even though I'm not a big fan of like pinstripes coming down, it's a little bit thicker. That stripe becoming a lightning bolt is very innovative. So Ethan, good job there. I think you're onto something actually, big time here. Next, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Large T on leaf inspired by the arenas, striping similar to that Winter Classic, I think, against Detroit that they had in the Reebok years. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I don't mind that at all. Next, the Utah Mammoth. Sleeve stripe resembles mountains. I guess it does. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the, I guess, name or text plate on the bottom of hockey cards. If I can find a picture, I'll throw it up on the screen. But that's the first thing I thought of. I actually didn't even see the mountain until I read that. But yeah, cool jersey. Next, Vancouver Canucks. Definitely. Sleeve makes for a V for Vancouver. Yeah, I like that quite a bit, actually. I really like the sleeves. I like the more white that's happening in here and the more green, too, I think. So, good job. Okay, Vegas Golden Knights. What is the difference? I don't want to read it. I want to find it. The socks are different, I think. All right, I can't see it. Let's read. Slight angle on sleeve stripe, creating a subtle V for Vegas. Yeah, see, I can't really see that with this specific template. Next. Oh, that is very interesting. Logo incorporates DC flag. I think it looks awkward on red. On white, that would be a very interesting logo to appear on a white jersey. I would really like to see an inverse of this. I love the sleeves. The sleeves are awesome. That's such an interesting idea. Yeah, I'd like to see an inverse of this. Next, the Winnipeg Jets. This is the last one. Sparkle silver accents. Yeah, I feel like there's maybe a bit of like two or three jerseys happening here. I don't know if it's like the darker blue at the bottom of the sleeves or what, and I prefer their current logo or a different variation of it, which you see on the shoulder there. Okay, that was it. I think my favorite, there's actually some pretty good ones in here. There's some misses, but there are some good ones. Definitely honorable shout out to Quebec. I don't think it's going to be my favorite, but I do really like it. Nashville is pretty on point for what I would like to see from them. LA, obviously, you guys know that I'm going to like that one. But in terms of my favorite that would actually like be a pretty logical and good change for the team. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking through this. I think there's a lot of really good logical decisions by Ethan in points of the uniform or jersey, but there's just some other things that aren't quite what I'm thinking. I think the Nashville one, I know it's very similar to their reverse retro one, and this isn't super innovative or things that we haven't seen before. That doesn't mean that it can't be my favorite. It doesn't mean that it can't be the best in the series. Sometimes the most logical decision is the right decision. And I think for me, that Nashville doing something like this still appeases the people who want yellow as a primary color, but also appeases the people who don't want so much yellow and maybe want some of that little bit of retro style, more gray back into the uniform. So I think maybe Nashville might be my favorite here. Yeah, we'll say Nashville. So Ethan, thank you so much for submitting those. I really appreciate it. You included 4 more than most people do. Most people include 32. You included 36. I appreciate those other teams in there: Atlanta, Arizona, Quebec, Hartford stuff. I really appreciate those defunct designs as well. So I have an open invitation for anyone who ever wants to submit anything to the channel. It's there. Details on how to submit things to the channel, like Ethan has done here. Go down to the description. It's down there. Details on how to submit are down there. And I'll review them, or I'll react to them on a Friday. I'll go through them. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate people who come back every single Friday for these videos and make it part of your routine, part of your weekly tradition. Now, I was looking at the stats, and I always check about once every month or so, because I like to see how many people are watching that aren't subscribed. And the number is unfortunately staggering. Over 60% of return viewers are not subscribed. So it's just a very conflicting information when I see that people are coming back and watching multiple videos on the channel, but they're not subscribed to the channel. And I know it's cliche, but being subscribed to the channel helps the creator so much. Whether it's me, you don't have to subscribe to me. I'd like you to, but you don't have to. But I encourage you that if you're following other people on YouTube, subscribe to them. If you love their channel, go subscribe to their channel. It really does help their channel. It creates more business opportunities for them to grow with partnerships. It helps with the algorithm, so more people are finding the channel. So it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps the people that you watch, whether it's me or whether it's anyone else. So 60% of you who are coming back and watching multiple videos are not subscribed. It would be a huge favor to me if you could go down and hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you next week for a video just like this, but there's more videos coming on the channel. Of course, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. That's what I'm going to try for, but it might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Definitely videos coming next week, Dill. So I'll see you then. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Adios.